Thank you so very much for joining us this evening through our virtual college exploration for Illinois students. Just a bit of quick housekeeping notes. You are going to be able to use the Q&A button to type your questions to the presenters at any time. Your camera and microphones are off. You are muted and your video is off. The panelists cannot see nor hear you. You can please sign up for more sessions by visiting IACAC.org. And also keep in mind that a recording of this session will be available within about a week or so at IACAC.org. Let me turn it over now to our presenters for this evening.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you to StriveScan and to Illinois IACAC for this opportunity to talk with all of you this evening. This is how a small liberal arts college can change your life. We've got a great group of panelists from a number of small liberal arts colleges here throughout the Midwest. Cornell College, Kalamazoo College, Lawrence University, Wabash College. And my name is Rob Walton, and I'm Associate Director of Admission at Ohio Wesleyan University. So we're going to take the next 40 to 45 minutes, and we're going to kind of parse out what we mean when we say that experiences at a smaller arts college are going to change your life. And we'll break that down, and we'll each take a little bit of time to talk about our respective institutions. We will save time for Q&A, and as you just heard, you're more than welcome to submit any of those questions into our Q&A chat box. Our first speaker tonight that I'd like to turn it over to is my colleague and counterpart, Keegan White at Lawrence University.
Thanks, Rob. Yeah, so the Colleges That Change Lives grew out of a wonderful book by the same name, which was written by Loren Pope. And he was a former education editor of the New York Times and spent many years of his life visiting college campuses and writing about colleges. And he made this discovery and wrote a book highlighting how small, lesser known colleges that are less selective than kind of more known universities, Ivies, etc., had this wonderful quality about them where the students reported deep satisfaction, success in their lives after graduation, and a much more collaborative spirit in these less selective, smaller environments. And this quote from the book that's on the slide here, I think really sums up the through line between our colleges, which is that we put students at the center of the college search and frankly at the center of the university. We also seek to demystify and de-stress the application and admissions process in our offices in the admissions offices at all the institutions. And we as admissions offices began collaborating on college search events together around this theme of de-stressing and demystifying that search. And over time, we formed a nonprofit. Megan, you can switch the slide. Oh, sorry, you did. Apologies. So our nonprofit is dedicated to a few things. We have a few goals, and one of them is that we're dedicated to the advancement and support of a student-centered college admissions process. One of those things means that we don't take ourselves too seriously, as I just demonstrated. We have a goal of each student finding a college that develops a lifelong love of learning and provides the foundation for a successful and fulfilling life beyond college. So that fulfilling and transformative experience, not just during your college, but that keeps giving back to you over time and over your life and in your job and in with your family and just throughout your growth. We also really try to push back on the media frenzy, the rankings, the selectivity ladder, and to de-stress this process, because we understand that the testing and the application process and the essays and everything, it can be incredibly stressful. And the cost, oh my goodness. So We really try to help make this, put you at the center and help you through this and help families see beyond those rankings and discover the quality and long-term benefits of a small, less selective, more student-centered liberal arts experience. So here's a list of the 44 colleges that make up our nonprofit these days. We usually in a normal year travel across the country and give presentations. But this year we've also partnered with StriveScan, the same company that is helping to run these Illinois events, and to provide informational and college knowledge sessions. And all of our previous recordings are online at ctcl.org/presentations. So we're offering more live sessions later this month, but you can go and check out the recordings and sign up for the live sessions at that website. So if you like what you hear tonight and you'd like to continue learning about the colleges that change lives, pick up Loren Pope's book or navigate to ctcl.org for more content from the colleges that change lives. So now I'm going to pass the microphone to Megan Kuhn from Cornell College to talk to you about conducting a student-centered college search. Take it away, Megan.
Forgive me for leaving myself on mute, classic Zoom stuff. Thank you so much, Keegan, for giving us that intro. When students are beginning their college searches, it can feel a little daunting to try to keep track of everywhere that you want to apply to, their processes, their deadlines, and who you can go to whenever you have questions. The nature of a small liberal arts college is that you have a dedicated admission counselor, like all the folks on this call, who work directly with you to find out if our institutions are a good fit for you. We're not just here to answer questions about our academic programs and student life. Of course, we can do that, but we're here to provide guidance on really any aspect of a college search, from the application process to financial aid, all the way up to move-in day. Applying to a smaller college means that you really aren't just a number within our application pool. We really get to know you and your family along the way. Our application processes, they can look similar to larger institutions, similar deadlines, early decision, early action, regular decision, but that's kind of where the similarities end. Rather than trying to navigate a large institution's individual college deadlines and requirements, our applications are a little more standardized to ensure a smooth and direct path to application completion. And once we have your application in hand, we really pride ourselves on using a holistic approach to application reading and review. So we know you aren't just your GPA. You aren't just your test scores. We want to know about you as a person. Holistic application review means we look at activities that you're involved in. If you have a part-time job, how you help out your family, what you wrote about in those essays that you probably spent a whole bunch of time on. They are read and considered thoughtfully every step of the way. The process is as much about us being a good fit for you as you being a good fit for us. All of the institutions on this call are test optional, and quite a few of us have been for a few years. It's not just the pandemic that brought those processes to light. And we believe that this fits in with our holistic application review process, right? You're not being reduced to a statistic, to a score or a percentile. Test optional policies can vary institution to institution. Some are just entirely test optional. Some might ask for additional essays or a portfolio. But what we guarantee you is that there is no difference between applying with a test score versus applying as test optional. In my office, we would say, we don't say test optional with a wink, right? Like, you can choose to not submit test scores. It is optional. It is an absolutely viable way to go through your application process. And as the cost of college rises, as Keegan mentioned, small liberal arts colleges are just as competitive with financial aid. The ticket price that you see on websites is far larger than the actual price that students pay, and you'll have a real life human to chat with your questions about financial aid, because these are large conversations that impact your whole family, and we want to help you with those conversations. So you will have your admission counselor who can help you with chats about financial aid, as well as, you know, your regular financial aid department. One of the final things that I will say is that small liberal arts colleges are consistently listed on US News and World Report's list of best buy colleges. And that really makes sense when you consider the amount of merit-based scholarships, fine arts scholarships, and need-based aid that is given out on our campuses every year. And to talk a little bit more about those actual campuses, I'm going to throw it over to Kyle and Rob to tell you a little bit more about liberal arts institutions specifically.
Thanks, Megan. Appreciate it. So yeah, Rob and I are going to talk a little bit about the virtues of small liberal arts colleges. And so first and foremost, that's going to happen within the classroom. And so one of the great things about our institutions are we're going to have small class sizes. All of our institutions, the average class size is going to be well under 20. And so what that means is the professors are able to teach to that setting. So instead of being in a lecture hall of 100 plus people or more, and basically just hearing someone talk to you for an hour, our professors are able to have more of a discussion-based setting. So students are able to raise their hands if they have questions. They're encouraging participation, but they also want to learn a little bit more about our students and make sure that they're ready for the real world. So we're going to have them split into little groups and work as a team to finish a project. We're going to maybe get some people out of their comfort zone and present as a group. So you might be with a couple people and present for a half hour, similar to what we're doing tonight, and feel comfortable with that. It's going to be a little awkward right away as a freshman in college, but by the time you're a senior, you're going to be a pro, and it's just going to prepare you for that real world and make sure that you're as well-rounded as possible.
You know, Kyle alluded to this a little bit in that small class feel. I think that also finds its way into the campus community at large. It's really remarkable how at a smaller school, and while none of our institutions are so small that you're going to be running into the same 12 people everywhere you go, it is nice to know that you're going to recognize faces and you're going to know people across the campus, and that you're going to be able to make those connections that you just heard about. I really think that finds its way into student activities as well, right? So we'll probably touch on this again throughout tonight's session, but the fact that you can get involved in a lot of different activities, you can try new things, you'll be able to support your friends in their activities, and they'll be able to support you in theirs, and that students in a smaller art setting they're not put into a category or a box. That you can be an engineer who plays the trumpet, and you can be a student athlete who's involved in theater, and that's really the essence of the liberal arts setting, both in and outside the classroom.
And in terms of the undergraduate focus piece, one of the other great benefits of our institutions are every single one of our classes is going to be taught by a professor, and not just any professor, a professor with the highest degree in their field. So they're an expert in that category. At some institutions, you might be taught by a teacher's assistant who may never had any formal teaching background. So it's nice to be able to have that relationship with your professor all 4 years. And what that will do for you is be able to build that relationship. So if you're looking for an internship over the summer, they're going to have that connections with alums and other companies that they may have worked with to be able to get you those internships. They also might have some one-on-one research opportunities that you can take advantage of. And then another big piece of it is if you're looking to go on to graduate school, med school, law school, it's fantastic to have a letter of recommendation from a professor that you've built a relationship with. So they can go into detail of all the experiences they've had with you in their classroom, with those research, how they connected you with an internship, and what that employer said about you, and so on and so forth. And so those are some real big advantages, because a lot of times with letter of recommendations, it's just based upon that 1 or 2 classes that you've had. And so our professors are able to take it to another level with all that information.
And so sticking with the education piece and the academic piece, and at the same time, maybe going back to some of those same concepts that we talked about with the campus community, the essence of a small liberal arts college is that, again, you're not going to be put into necessarily a category. A lot of times you're going to be opportunity to double major or major in a minor and major in 2 minors, or you might start as a econ major and a music minor, and you finish with a music major and an econ minor. That happens a lot. Sometimes students come in completely undecided about what they want to do in terms of earning a degree, but they know the things that they're interested in, they know where their passions lie, they know where their strengths are, and that finds its way into your major or majors and your degree. And so that's really the idea with this well-rounded education, is that regardless of which degree you finish with, that you're going to get that set of just core skills that all employers are going to want to hire by the time you've graduated.
And when it comes to graduating and getting that job, the alumni networks at our institutions are great at being able to help throughout that process. First, they're going to help you be able just to attend our universities. We're all fortunate enough to have a nice endowment, so we can make our colleges affordable through scholarships. So some of us even have scholarships specifically for Chicagoland students. So we're able to bring down that initial cost right away. We also have merit-based scholarships, full tuition awards, and even full rides. And so that's a great thing. But hopefully we have some parents on the call tonight as well, and they can attest to this, but it's not necessarily what you know, but who you know. And that's really important when you're trying to get internships and you're trying to get jobs. And so we really lean on our alumni networks to help us out to be able to get those. And you can see that all of us have a really high rate when it comes to getting internships and getting jobs. So all 5 of our institutions were well over 90% placement rate once they graduate from college in terms of getting into a job as soon as they graduate. And that's a big testament to the alumni network. But we want to keep moving along. We're going to kind of get into our individual colleges so you can learn a little bit about that. So I'm going to kick it off to Megan so she can talk a little bit more about Cornell.
Thank you very much. Yes, about Cornell College. We were founded in 1853, located in picturesque Mount Vernon, Iowa. You may have heard of our East Coast cousin, Cornell University, but I'm here to tell you that we were actually the first Cornell. Founded 12 years before Cornell University, our founders were cousins. That's why we have the same name. But we are unique among the liberal arts colleges, even in general, because we operate on a pretty revolutionary academic calendar. One course at a time, or the block plan, as we call it, really impacts every aspect of our campus community. Our students spend 18 days in class, end with a 4-day break of no academics whatsoever, and then head on to their next class. We chose this academic model back in 1978 based on the recommendation of our faculty for a more engaging, more hands-on learning experience. You can expect to be in class from 9 to 11 and then again from 1 to 3. And because we're in class about 4 hours a day in one subject, that's why we don't rely a lot on lecture-based learning. You know, no one wants to get lectured at for 4 hours a day. Anybody be banging their head against a wall. So hands-on, discussion-based classes are really the name of the game. Our professors are teachers first. 8 classes a year means that our students graduate in 4 years, guaranteed. And due to the pandemic, we have added 2 additional flex blocks per year, and these are for students who have encountered any kind of difficulty due to COVID-19, whether that's scheduling or family obligations, things like that. You can take advantage of these flex blocks at no additional cost. We've also reimagined our core curriculum and debuted our new Ingenuity program this year. What we did here is, rather than focusing on general education requirements, we rethought the timeline of how our students learn. You begin with a really strong academic foundation, building skills in writing, quantitative reasoning, expansive critical thought, and then we move on to building essential abilities. That is a big part of a liberal arts education, you know, coming to understand how to debate, how to find global connections, research opportunities, things like that. And then we encourage students to really explore. And that means finding areas of intersection within your own academic department. So an environmental sciences major might be taking quite a few classes in economics or sociology to study sociological impacts on the economics of going green, things like that. All of this really combines to make a pretty wildly dynamic 4 years of studying, whether that's going abroad or participating in an internship or research opportunities. These are the norms for our students rather than the outliers. And we're proud to be a college that's constantly moving forward. We've added quite a few programs in the last few years: musical theater, actuarial sciences, and one of the few liberal arts colleges to offer engineering degrees. We've built a brand new natural sciences center on campus, so for the pre-med folks watching, we hope to see you there soon. And our students are known for really modeling our mission. They're creative, they're curious, they're morally courageous individuals who invest in themselves and in their passions. We surveyed our class of 2019 and 93% had found full-time employment within 6 months of graduation, so we're very happy about that. And 55% of our graduates go on to pursue advanced degrees within 5 years of graduation. If you'd like to see our historic campus for yourself with every building on the National Historic Register, we'd love to welcome you. Individual visits are happening Monday through Saturday, and we'd be happy to meet with you virtually as well. In closing, I'll say if you have any lingering questions, my contact information will be displayed at the end of the presentation. But until then, I will go ahead and pass the torch to Alexandra Altman from Kalamazoo College, and go Rams.
Thanks so much, Megan. I really appreciate that. I am Alexandra Altman, and I live here in the Chicagoland area. I'm the regional rep for K. And so that means I work with students throughout Illinois. And that's what most of us are able to do, is really personalize the experience for students based on being local to you. K College is a small liberal arts and sciences college, obviously. That's why we're here. But we are located in Southwest Michigan. And it's only 2.5 hours from downtown Chicago. So the Amtrak train goes right into Kalamazoo, and that's where we're located. Campus is walking distance from the train station, and a very vibrant downtown of Kalamazoo, Michigan. We have about 1,500 students on our campus, and 35% of those identify as domestic students of color, and 7% are international students. So we really have, and are proud of, a diverse student body. We offer a very inclusive orientation program that supports first generation and first year students. And because of this, K has a really strong retention rate and 4-year graduation rates as well. We are known for the K plan, and that offers you resume building, experiential education opportunities throughout your 4 years. Students work closely with their faculty members as well as the Center for Career and Professional Development on our campus to get jobs and internships that really help them explore their interests. You develop close relationships with your professors through small class sizes and advising, as my colleagues talked about. And everyone's K plan ends up being completely unique. So one of the distinguishing characteristics of K is that we have a really open and flexible curriculum. So you don't have some of the traditional gen ed requirements that other schools might have. And we also have a unique calendar of 3 10-week terms. Students take 3 classes each term, and so you really have that breadth of information that you can study, as well as the depth in those topics. And you don't have to declare major till the middle of sophomore year, so there's lots of time to explore. 70% of students at K study abroad, and we're very proud of this history that we have. We have more than 50 programs in more than 25 countries, and the options include 3, 6, and 9-month study abroad sites. Most of your scholarships and financial aid also transfer. So back to that, wanting to make college affordable, we want to make a study abroad experience part of your 4 years at K. It's built right into those 4 years. We also have study away options. We have one in New York City for the performing arts. And we also are really engaged in social justice and civic engagement work throughout Kalamazoo and the United States. Some of our top majors include biology and chemistry, business, psychology, and English. And again, you don't have to choose a major until the middle of your sophomore year. So there's, as my colleague Rob said, there's also opportunities to major and minor in different departments. Kalamazoo College has been test optional for many years, as was mentioned, and we do a holistic review as well. And so our merit-based scholarships, as we were talking about financial viability, range from $20,000 to $30,000 every year. So we do offer a competitive scholarship for the performing arts as well, if that's something that you're interested in participating in, but you don't have to major in music or theater to have that opportunity. And we offer student athletes Division III experience, and we have really strong tennis and swimming and diving teams at K. And one of the exciting things that's happening right now is we're building a new swimming pool that will open this year for students to participate in. And lots of really unique different clubs. We have a circus club on campus, we have a cappella groups, we have a radio station, but like most small liberal arts colleges, we do not offer Greek life at K. So please check out our virtual visit opportunities. We also are offering on-campus options as well, if that's something you're comfortable with. And our next virtual open house is coming up on September 24th, and students lead our tours on campus. So finally, I'll just say that I would really love to talk more with you, and if you'd like to contact me directly, and I will turn it over to my colleague Keegan from Lawrence to tell you a little bit more about his university.
Thanks, Alexandra. And good evening to the good people of Illinois. I'm back. Once again, my name is Keegan, and I'm a proud alum of Lawrence. Lawrence University is a small college of 1,500 students. You probably already knew we were small. And we're located 3 hours north of Illinois in beautiful Appleton, Wisconsin, the 5th largest city in Wisconsin. Lawrence is unique in that we are both a nationally ranked College of Liberal Arts and Sciences and a highly selective Conservatory of Music. Both are undergraduate only, and our students pursue either a Bachelor's of Arts degree in the college or a Bachelor's of Music degree in the conservatory, or a combination, either a double degree where they get both degrees, or a Bachelor of Musical Arts degree, which is a more contemporary and flexible music degree that allows for additional study in another area. So the double degree would be a 5-year degree, and the Bachelor's of Musical Arts would be a 4-year degree, just like our Bachelor's of Music and Bachelor's of Arts degrees. So at Lawrence, students are challenged and nurtured through personalized experiences in our small classes with a ton of faculty connections, thanks in large part to our 8-to-1 student to faculty ratio, which is one of the smallest in the country. We have a student body that's inherently curious, warm, welcoming, engaged, and passionate about what they do. Faculty and staff are equally curious and engaged in our students and their success. At Lawrence, we're small in number, but rich in people and resources, all deeply invested in the success of our students. It all adds up to a transformative education that doesn't just prepare you for a career, but rather helps you to thrive professionally, personally, and as a contributing member of your community. The academic program at Lawrence begins with freshman studies. It's sort of our hallmark program. It's an expansive and inclusive introduction to liberal learning. Liberal learning is free thought. It is not liberal in the political sense. It's liberal in the sense that it is both broad and deep. You're exploring things that you might not be comfortable with. You're expanding your horizons. You're open to other schools of thought and thinking about things differently. And that's what freshman studies teaches students to do. Everyone studies across the curriculum and has a chance to learn about things they're not quite comfortable with. And faculty have a chance to teach things they're not quite comfortable with. And it's a really transformative start to a college education. And then students explore their areas of interest, maybe choose a major or 2 or 3. And then they do something called Senior Experience, which is a capstone scholarly project of the student's own design with individualized guidance from a professor. And it results in a paper or research project or performance or some kind of art show, something that fits the students' academic interests as well as their aspirations for after college. So it's almost like a thesis, a graduate thesis, but at the undergraduate level. So on the screen here, you see our beautiful campus nestled between downtown Appleton, a charming city park, and the historic and picturesque Fox River. Appleton is a lovely and lively city of 75,000 residents, less than 3 hours from the Illinois border. Within walking distance of campus, you're going to find a bus station that'll get you to Chicagoland in about 4 hours, as well as a bustling downtown with coffee shops, restaurants, farmers market, library, museums, performing arts center, walking trails. There's a lot going on. In addition to our Appleton residential campus, we also have a lodge on a mile of Lake Michigan shoreline in Door County, Wisconsin, that students use as a retreat center. And then a study abroad facility in Bloomsburg, the Bloomsbury neighborhood of central London, which is our most popular study abroad option. And then lastly, there's me, your trusty admissions counselor based right here in Chicago, coming to you from Chicago, and ready to guide you through the whole college application, admissions, financial aid, and enrollment process. You'll find that the personal attention that you will receive at Lawrence is second to none, and that starts with me. I put you at the center and as the most important thing I do every day. So I look forward to getting to know you. I hope to hear from you. And we have many, many ways to connect on our website and coming up via various events. And with that, I'm going to pass it to my colleague, Rob at Ohio Wesleyan University.
Great, thanks, Keegan. So you'll hear a lot of folks on campus refer to Ohio Wesleyan University as OWU, because it's a lot easier than saying either Ohio Wesleyan University or OWU, which could be a tongue twister. And to my knowledge, we're the only OWU in the country. So if you find another one, let me know, but we prefer to just go by OWU. We're also about 1,500 students, and our students hail from 41 different states, as well as 31 different countries. So it's inevitable that you might meet someone who grew up right down the street from you. You just didn't know them before because they went to a different institution. And at the same time, you're going to make great friends from somebody who grew up halfway across the country or halfway across the world. And you'll learn a little bit about how you're similar and how you have different backgrounds. And that's, again, folds into what you've heard about the kind of that concept of liberal arts education. Our signature program is called the OWU Connection. If you attend any of our information sessions, you'll get the long form understanding of this. But the OWU Connection is what takes all of your different aspects of your education in the classroom, extracurricular activities, research, internships, job shadowing, study abroad, staff, domestic study away, and combines that into and folds that into your academic experience. So instead of having these siloed all in different parts of campus, that this should be part of everybody's experience. It's open to all of our students. Over 2/3 of our students do some sort of study away, and at the same time, well over 1/3 of our students are double majoring. So we have upwards of 90 different majors and 60 different minors. We've heard a lot about how that's another focus of liberal arts, is that you're going to be able to do many things and do different things and even change your mind along the way. Within that, if we're looking at programs that have the highest number of students enrolled, zoology, which makes a lot of sense. We're right down the street from the Columbus Zoo. Business and economics also makes sense. We're just outside of Columbus, which is the largest metropolitan area in the state of Ohio and the 13th largest metro area in the country. So many Fortune 500 and Fortune 100 companies have bases right there. Psychology is very popular. We see students use that in a number of different ways. Health and Human Kinetics, or HHK, also a very popular program. Some students might use that to dovetail into education if they're thinking that kind of arena. They also might use that for any of our pre-professional programs, pre-med, pre-dent, any of those things. I've seen folks combine that in a number of different formats. And I also mentioned, because we are just outside Columbus, it is also the state capital. So politics and government is very high on our list as well. We have our Wesleyan in Washington program, which is open to any student who wants to spend an entire semester in DC working right there on Capitol Hill. So I've kind of buried the lead, and I've also alluded to it as far as where we are within the state of Ohio. We're in Delaware, Ohio, which is north suburban Columbus. We're about 20-25 minutes north of downtown. Delaware, Ohio is a great community. We have a great relationship with the area around us. You're walking distance to so many things. It's nice that when our students stretch their legs and get off campus, that they're able to take advantage of all the nearby things to do within the community. And you're 10 minutes down the street from some other internships, local research. I mentioned the zoo. We're also near one of the major state parks. And so there's a lot going on within the community around us. And we have such a great relationship with that community that you can actually use some of your dining dollars in your meal plan off campus in some of the restaurants that are in downtown Delaware, Ohio. So a great setting, a self-contained college campus. We're not strewn throughout the entire metro area, but a pretty sizable campus for a community of 1,500 students. It might take you 15 or 20 minutes to walk from end to end. I've seen a lot of different ways that students take advantage of all of those resources. So if you like the idea of being about 5 to 6 hours away from home, also still near a major metropolitan area, with all of these elements that we've talked about, Ohio Wesleyan could be a great fit for you. And again, like you've heard today, I would be, coming from Illinois, I would be your admission counselor. And I take a lot of pride in being able to help those students both to and through their experience at OWU. So at this point, I'm going to turn it back over to Kyle Vowell, who's going to finish up this portion of the program to talk a little bit about Wabash.
Thanks, Rob. So yeah, once again, Kyle Vowell with Wabash College. We are a small private liberal arts college for men in Indiana, Crawfordsville, Indiana, which is about 45 minutes northwest of Indianapolis. Some of our key programs and majors that our students like to get involved with would be the pre-med track. We've had over a 94% acceptance rate to medical school over the last 10 years. And so that's certainly a popular track for our students to go. Same thing with students wanting to go pre-law. We've had over an 88% acceptance rate to law school. And then another popular program is our Center for Innovation, Business, and Entrepreneurship. So we'll have a lot of students that go that. It's not a particular major on campus, but it is an off program that you can get involved with that has guaranteed internships, guaranteed case studies with Harvard Business Law and everything like that. So it's some great opportunities for our students to get in there. We even have 1 in 10 of our graduates end up becoming a VP, president, CEO, or founder of a company. So business is certainly a popular route, even though we don't have a formal business degree. But one of the unique things about us, other than being an all men's institution, would be our alumni network. We have the #1 ranked alumni network in the entire country, according to the Princeton Review. And they do a lot for us. Starting off with scholarships, they help fund a lot of that. So with our merit scholarships, our total cost is about $55,000 a year. But just by applying and being admitted with your transcripts and test scores, if you apply with test scores, if not, it'll just be with your GPA, you're going to be able to receive $17,000 to $32,000 per year. And then if you apply for the FAFSA, which opens October 1st, you'll be able to get $7,500 to $15,000 on top of that. So it's a nice stackable scholarship, and that automatically will bring the cost down quite a bit. And you can still qualify for need-based aid and other scholarships that we might have available. Another thing that they help out with is internships. So we talked about that a little bit earlier in the program, but internships are key. It's how you get jobs. And we're actually ranked, once again, #1 in the country for top internship. And so we do a really good job of connecting them right away as freshmen. So before you even are a student on campus, we're having you get on LinkedIn, create a profile, and then within your first couple weeks of campus, we want you to create a resume so that our career services can take a look at that, help you change any things that you might need changed on there, and then start finding out what your aspirations and career goals are so that they can connect you with an internship that first summer. So that's something we really try and push our students for right away. And because of that, we have a fantastic placement rate. So our 2018 class had 100% of our students placed. Our 2019 class was at 99.5%. And then our 2020 class that just graduated in May, during a pandemic, we're already over 90%. So we're doing some great things, and we're very happy with that. One of the cool things that I like that our alumni network help out with is just funding other programs too. So we have an opportunity for our students to take an immersion trip, which is a 7 to 14-day trip abroad that our students can go on during one of our breaks. It's completely free. So thanks to our alums, they're paying for your airfare, your food, your hotel, lodging, any excursions that you do. And it just gives you a great opportunity to experience something that you may not have done otherwise. And it's only for a week or two. So if you're an athlete or you're worried about being gone for a whole semester, you don't have to worry about with this, because it's only for a week or two. You get to go with your classmates, you get to go with your professors. And so it's just a great experience, and you're guaranteed to have at least one of those during your 4 years. Some other things to note: we are at the Division III athletics, and we have very strong athletic programs. We consistently rank in the top 25 every year for our athletic programs. We just added volleyball this year, and we're just finishing the $13 million football stadium. So we're going to have the nicest football stadium in the country for Division III. So we're very excited about that. And we have a lot of student organizations for our students to get involved with as well. So that's nice. We even have a $350,000 budget that our student organizations are able to use for their different activities. And it's all student ran. And so that's another big perk there. And then living on campus, we have traditional residence halls, but we also have Greek life. So if you want to get involved with a fraternity, you can do that as well. The last thing I want to talk about, not that money means everything, but it certainly helps. We rank 3rd in the entire Midwest in terms of highest alumni salaries. And so we certainly have some good outcomes there, and that's good to see. And our median salary is almost $138,000. So I want to kick it off to Alexandra to see if we have any questions. So Alexandra?
Yeah, so we did get a question about if we could talk a little bit more about science and sort of research opportunities in the medical field. And so I can just briefly answer that on behalf of us. We really pride ourselves at all of our institutions on those one-on-one engagement opportunities and relationships that you build with faculty members on campus. And so it's really important to us that students have those opportunities all 4 years that they are in school. And most of us have health sciences advisors on campus as well. So you may have a faculty advisor that's helping you, with your courses and selecting which biology and chemistry classes to take, for example. But there's a health sciences advisor that's also going to talk with you about what kind of career in the medical field you might be interested in, and help you not only take the right classes to be prepared for those programs, but help you get into those programs. And as my colleagues mentioned, we have really high success rates in medical school and post-secondary educational opportunities. I think the other thing that we've mentioned that's specific to sciences as well is it's really easy to combine across different departments. And so you have the opportunity, for example, to study neuroscience or in an eating center disorder research facility, where you're also studying maybe psychology as well as the sciences. So that's just a little bit more about the sciences. It's, we do say liberal arts schools, but we do mean liberal arts and sciences schools for all of us. And so we just want to thank everybody for being here tonight. We really appreciate StriveScan putting this program on, and we really look forward to connecting with all of you. As soon as you are ready to apply to any of our institutions, we are waiting to read your applications, and we look forward to working with you and helping you find your best college fit. And thanks to my fellow panelists as well.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.
Thanks, everyone.
And thank you to our panelists. We want to make sure that you do take a quick survey after you close this window. There'll be a very quick 4-question survey that will appear. Please do sign up for more sessions at www.iacac.org. And do remember that all sessions are being recorded and will be available also at the IACAC.org website. Thank you.